Am I the asshole? For kicking out my adult stepson. My 25-year stepson wife and I married for 6 years together for 12 got his longtime girlfriend pregnant. I told him it's time to get a house with her to raise his child. They did. They got married, bought a house and began to raise their son. 4 months ago he shows up at our house with a suitcase and starts living with us. I knew it was a stressful time, but I guess he cheated on her with a coworker. Wife told me not him. She wanted to figure out the relationship but he refused. After a month of being in the house I sit him down to get his side of the story. Not getting any reason other than he didn't feel like being with her anymore, I told him he had 3 options. Back to your wife and child and make every effort to right your wrongs. 2. Stay here, babysitting his son for 4 hours during the day while she was at work and follow my house rules to the letter. Clean up after yourself every day, picking up all toys, washing all dishes made by him, showering after work not before work, stay awake while watching him. 3. Leave my house and figure things out on your own. He works nights and I found he was staying after work unnecessarily, drinking before going to sleep for a few hours and waking up when his son got dropped off only to fall asleep on the couch when he should be watching his not even 2-year-old. After a few nice and then a few not so nice reminders for him to stay awake, he told me to essentially mind my own business and he will do what he wants. I told him he has chosen option 3 and I don't want him in my house any longer. This led to a fight with my wife and she said if he leaves she will leave as well. Am I the asshole? Here? Edit shower rule. For the first month he would come home from his dirty job and get into my guest room bed and shower right before going to work, presumably for the benefit of the other girl. Edit first month my wife and I talked about his situation a bit while I waited for him to come to me about what's going on. Discussions of expectations for the adult children in the house have been had. He is the second of 3 kids. The oldest had a rocky exit from the house, but he is married, trying for kids and we have a great relationship. Not the asshole. Stick to your boundaries and talk to the child's mom about continuing to be in the child's life if you desire to. Not the asshole. Let her leave because all she's been doing is enabling his shitty choices and you don't want to be a part of that anymore. So just tell her that if she doesn't like it, she's free to leave with her son. Not the asshole. This led to a fight with my wife and she said if he leaves she will leave as well. Well, it's no wonder he's such a quality guy, he's got mommy to defend and enable all his bad choices. Not the asshole. Your wife is enabling this behavior and finds it totally okay if she's willing to leave with him. Frankly, I'd wave by as she goes out the door because what kind of person finds neglecting a toddler to be appropriate behavior? I would also reach out to his ex and let her know about the neglect. That baby is going to get seriously injured or worse, she needs to try it and get the courts to limit him to supervised visits only. Pack her bags for her. He is 25 years old and the father of a 2-year-old child. He has to stand on his own 2 feet in his own home. Not the asshole. It sounds like you gave him a month to be a lazy all he wants, then set reasonable boundaries. Then he got drunk after work and passing out watching 2Yo for 3 months. It's impossible for me to believe the wife was blindsided by this. If she was, then she's just blind. This is a grown man with a child. Let them leave. ETA. Please tell the mother, assuming she's fit to parent unlike your stepson. That poor baby. Not the asshole. Time for him to grow up. Not the asshole. Why does your wife want this no good man in her house? Nope, no tea here. Living in homes comes with living with rules. Your wife is enabling him to be a good for nothing tosser and layabout. Stand your ground. You have house rules. If wifey decides to throw in your marriage over this, then your marriage wasn't worth much anyway, and isn't it better to know? Heartbreaking, yeah, but better to know where you stand so you can plan for your future. His mommy can hold his hand while they couch surf together and you can get on with your life and perhaps find someone who think of you first. Info. Was he sleeping while his toddler was awake? Or was he napping while the child was also napping? Not the asshole. Bye. Not the asshole. Tell her you'll miss her. The actions have consequence. You're getting a 2-for-1 special. Not the asshole. Tell them both not to let the door hit them on the way out. Bye bye. So let them both go. 100. Not the asshole currently going through somewhat the same thing. Stepson lazy as hell, sleeps all day, games all night. On I right now because his work is slower in the winter, so instead of finding another job he gets paid by the gov to sit on his ass and do nothing. Keeps dirty dishes in his room, weeks of dirty clothes. Room constantly a pig pen. Wife enables it, can't do anything because he's my son, and it's not good to have a heated discussion with him. I'll make sure he does his stuff. 3 days later, still doing the exam opposite of what was discussed that needs to change. Not the asshole, and your wife is enabling him. No wonder he's going down a loser path. Adios to both of them and enjoy your life. Life is too short. There's the door, he said, after receiving the ultimatum from his wife. Not the asshole. Not the asshole, but I gotta ask. Why is he only allowed to shower after work? Nobody wants to work with someone who hasn't showered. Not the asshole. He's made his choice, and you've made yours. If your wife wants to continue to enable her son's shitty behavior, well, that's her choice as well. Not the asshole, you did the right thing. Your wife threatening to leave is a dick move because she is enabling his poor behavior. Does she ever think about what might happen if something happens to your grandson because your son was asleep? Don't doubt your decision. Not the asshole. Your wife needs to understand that enabling him like this will not help him at all. Tough love can be a good thing at times. He doesn't even appreciate the kindness you are giving him by allowing him to stay and at least have visitations with his child. Show your wife this post and maybe she will understand because you are doing the right thing. Not the asshole, him being asleep while his toddler is running around on his own is child endangerment. I called CPS on my ex for doing this. It's not okay. He's in your house, you gave him very simple basic options. It's not your fault he wants to be a loser. However, you don't need to be liable should something go wrong with your grandson. If I were you, I'd alert the soon-to-be ex-wife. Your stepson shouldn't be alone with his son if he's just going to ignore him.